I audible?
Yes, sir.
Kumar, நீங்கள் தொடங்கலாம்.
நெக்ஸ்ட் வந்து நம்ம ஒரு முக்கியமான விருந்தினை அழைக்க போகிறோம். அவர் ஒரு சிறப்பு பேச்சாளர். அவர் திரு சேகர் சுவாமிநாதன் அவர்கள். அவரை பற்றி சொல்லணும்னா வெரி அக்காம்ப்ளிஷ்ட் பர்சன் இன் த US. He is a CEO of PubloSoft, a banking platform supplier for small to medium banks. And he was a part of founding team several startups, including Savis, that was sold for $2.4 billion. Formerly CTO at Collinear Networks, SVP at CenturyLink, Vice President at Liberty Global, Vice President at Megapar, Vice President at Savis. 21 plus years in executive management roles. He has an MS and PhD in electrical engineering from the University of Virginia. இவர் இன்னொரு சிறப்பு, இவர் இந்த எழுமின் அமைப்பின் முக்கியமான ஒரு தலைவராக இருக்கிற பாலா சுவாமிநாதன் அவருடைய சகோதரர். அவரை வரவேற்பதில் மிகுந்த மகிழ்ச்சி.
அது மட்டும் இல்லாமல் இவர் நம்மளுடைய எழுமின் நிகழ்வுக்கான ஒன் ஆஃப் த ஸ்பான்சர்ஸ் ஆகவும் இருக்கிறார். அந்த வகையிலும் அவருக்கு சிறப்பு பாராட்டுகள், நன்றிகள். ஐயா, நீங்கள் தொடரலாம்.
ரொம்ப நன்றி மகேந்திரன், ரொம்ப நன்றி குமார். இந்த ஃபாதர் நீங்க இந்த ரைஸ் ஃபோன் பண்ணதுக்கும், பாலா சுவாமிநாதன் இந்த நார்த் அமெரிக்கா ஜஸ்டி இந்த நார்த் அமெரிக்கா கான்ஃபரன்ஸை ஆரம்பிச்சதுக்கு ரொம்ப நன்றி. I'm not able to share it over here. Okay, but anyway, I will speak from here, without the presentation deck. Okay. அதனால நான் 30 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி 30 years ago I came to America. At that time, when I went to school, I was not thinking about starting any business. I was just want to finish my PhD and get a job in an R&D division. That's what goal. ஆனா நான் ரிச்மண்ட் விர்ஜீனியாவுக்கு போகும்போது அங்க I saw the story. I went to the National Park Museum there, and then I saw the story of Maggie Lena Walker. அவங்க யாருனாக்க, அவங்க she was a daughter of a slave. நீங்க மற்ற நாடுகள்ல அமெரிக்கா எப்படி இருக்குன்னு தெரியாததுனால உங்களுக்கு கொஞ்சம் குறுகிய சொல்றேன். இங்க வந்து 1800s அப்புறம் ஏர்லி 1900s பாத்தீங்கன்னாக்க இந்த கருப்பர்கள் வாழ்வு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப கடினமான வாழ்வு. அவங்க எங்கேயுமே முயற முடியாம வெள்ளைக்காரர்கள் வைத்திருந்தார்கள். அது தவிர ஏதாவது முயன்றால் அவங்கள கொண்டு போடுவார்கள், லிஞ்ச் என்று சொல்வார்கள். அதையும் லிஞ்ச் பண்ணி கொண்டு போடுவார்கள். அந்த மாதிரி சூழ்நிலைகள்ல அவங்க ஒரு தொழில ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க. அது என்னன்னாக்க அந்த செயின்ட் லூக் பெனி சேவிங்ஸ் பேங்க் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி, அது வந்து இந்த ஃபாதர் பாலா அண்ட் சார்லஸ் செல்வராஜ் அவங்க எல்லாம் பேசிட்டு இருந்தாங்களே, விருட்சம் மைக்ரோ ஃபைனான்ஸ், அது மாதிரி ஒரு வங்கி அது. அந்த மேகி லீனா வாக்கர் இருக்காங்களா, அவங்க வந்து என்ன பண்ணாங்கன்னாக்க, she said, okay, I'm going to serve the underserved black community. ஏன்னா அந்த கருப்பர்கள், எஸ்பெஷலி இந்த கருப்பு அம்மையார்கள், அவங்க எந்த லோனுமே அவங்களால வாங்க முடியல. அவங்க கொலாட்டரல் இருந்தா கூட அவங்களுக்கு லோன் கிடைக்கல. அப்படி லோன் கொடுத்தாலும் அந்த இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் ரேட் வந்து ரொம்ப ரொம்ப அதிகமாக இருந்தது. அப்படி இருக்க சூழ்நிலையில அவங்க என்னன்னு சொன்னாங்க, இந்த மேகி லீனா வாக்கர் அவங்க வந்து அப்பையில ஒரு 18 வயது ஹைஸ்கூல் முடித்த ஒரு பெண்மணியா இருக்கிற நேரத்துல she said, okay, black community அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ஒரு கோல், she set herself a goal. அதுக்கப்புறம் ஒரு வங்கி ஆரம்பித்தால் நல்லா இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு நினைச்சிட்டு she wanted to start a bank. அதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணாங்க, she wanted to put a strong foundation. First you need to எந்த தொழில் ஆரம்பித்தாலும் உங்களுக்கு வந்து சேல்ஸ் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் உங்களுக்கு வேணும். ஏன்னா நீங்க தான் அந்த தொழிலோட ஓனர். அப்பையில நீங்க தான் அங்க கஸ்டமர்ஸ் எல்லாம் பார்த்து நீங்க உங்க பொருள்களை விற்கிறதுக்கு வேண்டிய ஸ்கில் உங்களுக்கு இருக்கணும். அது வந்து சேல்ஸ். இவங்க என்ன பண்ணாங்க, she went and sold insurance to about like 100,000 people around 24 states. And then once she got the sales experience, what she did was she did a correspondence course for accounting as well as business. Once she finished the accounting correspondence course, then she joined a bank, and then she worked through the bank. She learned the operations of the bank. And then once she learned the operations of the bank, then she started the bank in 1903. this micro lending business she started in 1903. And then on the first day, she got a deposit of $9,600. And then when she died in 1934, the deposits grew to $3 million. The $3 million is around almost like $1.2 billion today. And she did that, being a Black woman in a southern state, and under all odds. There was bigotry all around her, and then regulators were trying to shut down her business every way. And then she also ran into this Great Depression, where many banks shut down, many businesses went out of business. And then she withstood all that, navigated her business through all of them, and then she became successful. Therefore, from her, I learned what is a business? How do you start a business? And then once you start the business, how do you operate the business and keep the business afloat? And how do you make profit? That's what I learned from her. And today I'm going to present, whatever I'm presenting today is whatever I learned from Maggie Lena Walker, and then also the experiences I have experienced over the last 21 years or so in North America. And in my various capacities in all these big companies, I have bought like many businesses, and then sold several businesses to other companies. Therefore, based on this experience, I'm going to give you a talk today. Therefore, let's start with what is a business. First of all, you need to have a goal. Why are you starting the business? That is like quite important. Without any goal, you will meander around and you won't be able to achieve. That's important. In the case of Maggie Lena Walker, the goal is serve the underserved Black community. That's what her goal is. And then the second thing is, how are you going to serve it? And the product, what are the different products that you want to, product and services that you can sell? That way you can meet your goal. Therefore, for in her case, it started off with simple loans, micro loans, and then she branched into insurance, which she knows very well. And later on, she did mortgages. Because of her, 65% of the Black families in Richmond, they owned homes because of her, which is like a very astonishing task in the Jim Crow era. And then how do you do it? She worked through a bank and learned all the processes. And then she understood all the bookkeeping tools and such. And that's what she learned. And because of her sales experience, which is quite important, she also knows how to meet with the customers and sell the products that she has. As a byproduct of this business, you will get profit and cash flow. That's only a byproduct. Therefore, you have to focus on why, the goal, and what the products that you want to sell, and then the tools and processes, basically your relationship with all your customers, suppliers, distributors, and then all the tools that is needed to convert the raw material into a finished product, and all the processes that's needed to get all the machines and all the relationship working. Those are quite important on how. Those things are important. And once you have that, then the revenue will come in. Revenue minus cost is the profit. And then you have profit minus all the capital investments that you are making. That's your free cash flow. Therefore, you always have to make sure that the free cash flow is always positive. If you are able to keep the free cash flow positive, then your business is going to be really good. That's what is a business. And then there is like one more criteria you need, which is basically the owner of the business has to have two important traits. The first one is honesty. That is really important, because everybody, you talk to all the, even the employees and the suppliers, the businessmen and the government regulators and such, they make decisions based on the word that you give them. Therefore, the honesty is really important. Without honesty, you won't be able to do any business. And the second trait, which is more important than anything else, is a passion. Passion means like energy. As a businessman, what happens is you will run into lots of problems every day. Every day you will run into problem. The first and biggest problem is you, which is like a self-doubt. That will be the biggest problem that you need to overcome. And you can overcome that with the energy and passion. And then the second biggest problem is like your friends, family, they will all say it is impossible. You make it possible. That's a second important trait you need to have. And then there are other problems which will come in, which you and all your employees need to solve it on a daily basis in order to get the business going. That's what the trait you need to look for in you and also your teammates. Now let's go through a couple of examples here. This is my service. I was the 8th employee in this particular business, part of the founding team. And then the founder, what he did was he wanted to make the markets efficient. Therefore, he got money from Welch, Carson Brothers and started this particular business. And then when he started the business over here, we looked at all the different products that to make the market efficient. And the two things you need. One is the market data. You need like a real-time market data and then real-time news. If you have those two, then the market will become efficient, because many times arbitrage between like prices from two different time zones or two different regions is what people are using to make a lot of money. But if you make this market data and real-time news available, then you will make the market efficient. Of course, the computer storage, private VPN, and security are all needed to make the market data and real-time to the people. And then we built the largest multicast network, modern data centers to enable this solution to our customers. But at the end of the day, what happened was after like 7 years later, we were at $1 billion revenue per year, which is like a really good amount of money in the 2010s, last decade. And then we are getting like a $300 million EBITDA per year, and then $148 million of free cash flow. The company was generating good free cash flow, and we were able to sell this company for $2.4 billion to CenturyLink. And that's what service is about. And then let's talk about like one of my first businesses that I bought. First one, when I was at Service, the guy who was responsible for M&A, he took off on a vacation for a year. Therefore, the CEO told me to go and take a look at this company, BAMNet. And then I flew to Minneapolis and then looked at this business. And then this company, what it does was it wants to make the graphics, art production, ad production more efficient. Basically, if you look at Walmart, they send out a flyer every Friday or every Saturday. It will come to your door, and this particular flyer requires like quite a bit of effort to make that flyer working. All the manager have to decide what to put on sale, and then the vendor suppliers need to give their icons, the images to the ad production company, and then our production company, they need to put together the ad, and then they have to send it to the printer, and the printer has to print it and then put it on the post. So it's quite a bit of effort, but it was taking like 6 weeks to do that particular work. This company, what they did was they put together a content distribution network, and then they connected all the people who are involved in the ad production. And then what they did was they built this particular the particular network. And then after that, what happens? They were able to reduce that day workflow from like 6 weeks to 3 days. That's what this company did. And for that, they invented something called store and forward customer premise equipment, which is a technical word for it. I'm not going to go into the detail, but they had like a revenue of $30 million per year. And unfortunately, the negative cash flow, the company was losing money. And then what I said was, okay, they have this access network, which is they are paying way too much money. Therefore, I can come and add value, meaning like I can get the access network for 50% of what they are paying. Therefore, I can immediately make the company profitable. That's what I told my investors. And then I was able to get this money, get this company for $32 million, $16 million immediately, and then unless $60 million of cash flow targets were met.